Hello, everybody. How are you all doing today? It's so good to have you joining us from all over the world. Today, we are going to be talking about crafting engaging scripts, the do's and don'ts for writing video scripts. My name is Sharon Delaney McCloud. I am a television journalist turned corporate coach and speaker, and I work with individuals and groups and organizations all over the world on how to help them deliver their message with confidence and with impact. And specifically, because of my background as a television news journalist, I really specialize in writing for the camera. And so, before we get started and figure out all the different pieces that I'm going to be sharing with you today, I'd love to know where in the world you're joining us from. So, please put in the chat, where are you joining us from? I see, let's see, from Arkansas, or no, Alaska, not Arkansas. Put in the chat where you're coming from. We've got a great session set up for you today with 2 giveaways that we will be announcing at the end of our time together today, where we're really going to be focusing on how you can make better impact with your video scripts. So hopefully you can, whether it's talking to your clients, talking to prospects, however you're using video to connect with the people that you're trying to impact, I'm going to help you do it better today. All right, let's see. Okay, we're getting folks in here. Hey, Renee coming in from Panama. We've got folks coming in from New Jersey. Hey, Elizabeth, all the way from Germany. It's so good to have you all here. I am located in Raleigh, North Carolina, which is on the East Coast of the United States. And Raleigh is right in the center of our state. And in time wise, let's see, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time zone. Look at this. Tanit coming in from Barcelona. Hey, Michelle in Raleigh. I see you. Lou coming in from snowy New Hampshire. Oh, my goodness. One of the places that's been on my bucket list. I so want to come up to New England and see it. All right, let's see who else. Good evening from the UK. Hi, let's learn tech. I don't see your first name, but I see you there from the UK. Okay, we've got Biz Therapy Coaching from Durham. So, folks who are just right here in my area, too. I'm so enjoying seeing all these people coming in because the stuff you learn today is actually going to be effective in many areas of your professional and personal communication efforts. We are going to be speaking specifically about video, but it really does translate to other things as well. All right, so let's go ahead and get started because we do have a good amount of material to cover. And I want to make sure that I have time to take your questions. One more hello to Claire coming in from New York. Nice to have you here. This Big View community is amazing. I love that we all get on and learn from each other. And I've so enjoyed watching the last couple of Big View Expert Ask the Expert series. The first one was with Robert Kennedy, who had terrific material for us. And the good news is, if you didn't get to watch it live, it's all on the Big View YouTube channel. You can go back and watch it. And then last week, we had Cheryl Tan, who had an amazing session on how to really come across confident on camera. But today we're going to be focusing on what you're going to say on camera. Oh, hey, Shirley from North Carolina. Nice to see you. We've got Mary Teasley coming in from San Antonio, Texas. All right, so why is it that Big View has partnered with me to do this work with you? And most of it is because of my background. I'm going to just share a quick video so you can see where my background lends itself well to this kind of work. I spent 2+ decades as a television journalist working at television stations around the United States, anchoring everything from live medical shows like the one you're seeing right now. But I also did the traditional newscasts like this one. I did the 5, 6, 7, and 11 o'clock news for many, many years and was a field reporter before I made it to the anchor desk. Oh, look at that old hairdo and all that makeup there. You can see the age of this video. But anyhow, you get the idea that this is what I did for 20+ years. And you might consider yourself a writer, but writing for video is a different set of skills than writing for a blog or writing in emails. It really does require a different preparation and a different thought when thinking about how you're going to be reaching your audiences. Okay, enough of all of that. Look at that dancing with the Rockettes. Hey. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and look at our agenda of what I'm going to be covering today. And there are three main things we're going to be working on. Creating clear, concise, compelling video scripts. Then we're going to look into how we can leverage AI to help us, not to do it for us, but to help us. And that's an important distinction. And then I'm going to give you a few things that you should avoid when putting together video scripts, just to make sure that you're reaching your goal quicker and easier. And I've made all the mistakes you can possibly make. So let me get them out of the way for you. So are you all ready to get started? Let's get some thumbs up or some haze. All right, let's see. I want to check and see who else we got here. Oh, we got Lindsay coming in from Southern Maryland. Okay, let's see. We've got more folks. Oh, hey, you remember me from NBC 17? All right, James, it's good to see you. All right, so yeah, you're going to be learning a lot of the stuff. So I'd like to know from you, what is it? Please add in the chat. What is the hardest thing for you when you are getting ready to think about creating a video for your business? What is it that just gives you anxiousness or heartburn about getting started with that pen to paper? Go ahead and put it into the chat so that I can see what problems I can help you solve today, because there are pain points all across the board when you're thinking about how to talk about your business. As I'm waiting for some of this information to pop into the chat, I want to give you an example of what I worked with a client who was a phenomenal fertility doctor, OBGYN, who was helping couples who were having a difficult time getting pregnant. And in the state of North Carolina, health insurance does not pay for a lot of procedures that help you get pregnant. So it's very expensive. And so for a couple to commit to doing some of these procedures, they have to really trust the doctor that they're going to be getting treated by. So what I suggested to this client was, look, getting people in the door is step number one. And you need to be able to create an inviting atmosphere, because people are scared to talk about this kind of thing. I said, why don't we do this? Let's look at all the frequently asked questions you get about what it's like to be a patient here, or what are some of the treatments. And let's create mini videos, miniature short videos answering each of these questions. That's what we did. I set up, you don't even have to, you can use your phones now, because these are 4K HD cameras. And we had the doctors answer a series of 20 different questions that they typically get. And we put it on the website and on their social media. Well, just amazingly, within a short period of time, what was happening is these patients would come in and the doctor would say, why did you choose us? There are other doctors in town who offer this service. Why'd you choose to come here? And so many times these people said, well, I saw that you had some videos on your website and I watched them and I felt like I got to know you. Ding, 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 ding. Bingo. Can you see that as a reason why you would want video on your website or on your social media? I mean, you get to meet people before they meet you, and you can already begin to establish a relationship. Okay, so let me take a look at some of the things, the pain points that we have here. Okay, where to start? Yes, isn't that the hardest thing? What is the first words? How do I even begin? Yes, so we're going to talk about that. How to format my message. Yes, I've got answers for you on that. I stay focused, but don't look so scripted. Oh, you don't want to look like a robot, right? You want to still look like you're not reading if you're using a script and then using the teleprompter. All right, the starting point. Yes, Tabitha, how to write that first sentence of the script that should draw the attention in. Absolutely. That's exactly what we're looking to do here today. So let's before we actually do the step-by-step process, I want to really emphasize why this work is so important. Let's take a look at some of the statistics so we can get a better understanding for how people are consuming video nowadays. You might remember we're about coming up to one of the biggest cultural events in the world, which is the Super Bowl. Now, if you're watching this months from now, it still is one of the most watched television events around the world. But here's what we know to be true. Over time, have you noticed that television commercials have gotten shorter and shorter? They used to be sometimes almost always 30 seconds. Some of them would go 60 seconds. Then they've dropped to 15 seconds and then 5 seconds, even the pre-roll commercials on YouTube, or when they're interrupting your show that you're watching on a streaming service, they'll be 15, but sometimes even shorter. Have you all noticed this? Okay, well, here's the thing. If they're so short, it's like, is it the chicken or the egg? Have we shortened the length of commercials because people have become so distracted they're not willing to pay attention longer? Or have we actually trained people to shorten their attention span? Which do you think it is? The chicken or the egg? But we know to be true is this. Nearly 1/5 of viewers of video content click off or stop watching within the first 10 seconds. Ah, how frustrating is that if you're going to be putting in all the effort to make a video? Here's another one from Ad Age. People are switching between devices up to 21 times an hour. Are you kidding me? All right, be honest. Who out there does what I do, which is I'm watching television and I'm also looking at my phone, scrolling while watching television, right? It happens. So, how are you going to grab people's attention and keep it long enough to get your message out? One more statistic before we dive in. If you don't engage your audience in the first 30 seconds, you're likely to lose 33% of those viewers. Whew. That's a tough one. That's why you have to immediately think about how you're going to engage your audience. So you can not only keep their attention, but disrupt distraction. Stop the Sharons in the world sitting on their couch watching a show and then over here on their phone at the same time. How do we stop that from happening? How do we get them to stay right here? Before I dive in to our first step, I'd like to know if there are any questions. Tell me, tell me. Okay. Ooh, how to hook people. Yes. How do you grab them? The hook. That's exactly right. In the news days, when we were writing, we would talk about not burying the headline of the story, making sure the headline of the story, the why people should want to watch and stay paying attention, needs to be right up front so we can capture them and hopefully keep them. Before we even write that first word, we have to do this. We must know thy audience. Know your audience. Who are they? What problem are you solving for them? And how can you connect with your audience beyond the facts? If you can create an emotional element through your video, wow, that's where you can really make a difference. And you think, oh, now, wait a second here. Am I becoming an actor? No, not necessarily, but you are going to be using all of the different things of body language and vocal delivery to add to the words to make sure that you're making an impression. Otherwise, you could just send a newsletter. If you're going to bother doing a video, it needs to be for the whole thing, for the words that for people to hear and see you. Would you all agree with that? Yes. Okay. So we got to know our audience. With that in mind, pop into the chat or into the comment section. What do you all do for a living? Why do you need to use video, or why would you like to use video? Who are the audiences you're trying to reach? Like, tell me what your industry or work is that video it would be a nice component to help market it. Give me some ideas so we can speak to them as we go through some of the examples. All right. Hey, Caleb from Brooklyn, New York. Tell me what it is that you do for a living that we can be thinking about how we can craft the scripts toward your audience. I'm looking here to see. Let's see. We've got a CPA. Is that you, James? Are you a CPA? All right. If you're a CPA, oh, we've got realtors, immigration and credit repair person, marketing and an artist, selling in the hospitality industry. Oh, we have a pastor. Lovely. Oh, local news. There we go. Fitness and wellness coaching. Ah, yes. So Hayward CPA, James in Durham, for thought leadership and to educate my target market. You help people make money online through affiliate marketing and brand deals. Ooh, Renee, digital marketing. Wow, all of these things are the perfect place for you to be able to introduce video. If you're not already, you should be having video as a part of the way to tell your company's story, how you can help solve people's problems in all those various things. When I think about realtors, if I'm a first time home buyer and I don't know what I'm doing, I of course would want to go online and learn. Or maybe I bought my last house 25 years ago and I'm thinking about moving up, or I'm thinking about downsizing. I would love to be able to learn from a realtor. What are the things I should be thinking about? For those of you who are in, oh, music and songwriter. Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. Such a creative industry. James, as a CPA, yes, you have so much you can teach people because of your area of expertise and how you can translate complex information into digestible information for your clients or potential clients. Okay, this is great. This is giving me some great ideas on thinking about how we should prepare our content for them. So, one, knowing who your audience is, the level of vocabulary that they will understand. For CPA James, you have to be careful between using the terms like revenue, which would be tier one, or AP, accounts payable, which would be like maybe level two. And then there's level three, which is like something even more complicated. Be mindful of the level of language that you're going to be using with your target audience. Okay, so here's the next thing. In video, you want to write for the ear. Does that make sense? Almost sounds like an oxymoron. With your scripts for video, you're writing for the ear and not the eye. And let me explain why. Let's say you're watching the news and you hear a story and they're using words that are unfamiliar to you, and they're using something so industry specific that you don't understand what it's saying. How many of you are actually going to go to the streaming service and rewind it to rewatch it? Or maybe you put out a video about your work and what you offer as a service, and you use language that is difficult or super long words. Are people watching your video on your website or on YouTube, are they really going to rewind and rewatch that part they didn't understand? Very unlikely. Because here's the thing, if you were to send it in a blog or a newsletter, people who don't understand a phrase can, in a millisecond, reread it. But people don't do that with video. So you need to use language that they're going to get on the first pass. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? And okay, here we go. Let's see. Cheryl, insurance investments. Okay, that seems like something that something so beyond my capacity, but I know I have to have insurance, that's a great example. Can you explain your expertise in insurance in a digestible way for audiences that could be your potential clients and are not insurance experts? So that's why you want to use conversational terms that people will listen and understand on the first pass that you don't have to repeat. Make sense? When I was doing the news, the first job I had out of college, I tried to write all these flowery words and long words like I was trying to impress people. And my news director came in with a big red pen and just started Xing it all out. Rewrite, rewrite. And he said, it's not about dumbing down. You are not being condescending. What you are doing is being more direct with conversational language. It's also more concise. It's easier to get. All right. Anybody have any feedback on that? All right. We're going to move on to the next step. So we're knowing our audience. We're going to use conversational terms, meaning you're going to write for the ear. And then one of you all said just a few minutes ago that hook. We need to grab their attention immediately. They're going to make a decision very quickly within that first 30 seconds. Am I going to stick with this? Am I going to stay watching or listening to this video for much longer? We need to make sure it's valuable for them, because the whole point is people are addicted to distraction. And we want to make sure that we are going to give them material that they're going to stay with us so that we can hopefully provide value and solve a problem for them. And then they're going to see you as a trusted advisor, hopefully, and then maybe email you or pick up the phone to become a potential client of yours, right? Okay, I am going to show you a video of a woman who was giving a TED Talk. I was in the audience for this, but I want you to listen to her opener. Again, this is a video, and you can actually watch the whole thing on YouTube, because it's a TED Talk. It's a TEDx talk. Let me make it full screen, and I want you to take a look at this.
For over a year, every day, I drove my kids to school drunk. Now, I wasn't actually drunk. It was the lack of sleep that made it seem that way. But the CDC has shown that if you get less than 6 hours of sleep over 2 weeks, it is the same as being legally drunk. And that was me. I'm a scientist, so I researched over 300 books and thousands of medical studies and documents. I studied everything from neuroscience to psychology, traditional Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic traditions. If it had sleep in the context, I studied it, and I ended up with an enormous pile of information on sleep.
Okay. Did you hear that first phrase out of her mouth? I was sitting in the second row at this TED Talk, and let me tell you, when she said, for the last year, I've been driving my kids to school drunk. Okay, the whole audience went like, in all seriousness. And she had that pregnant pause and then let us off the hook and said, no, I wasn't actually drunk. But science tells us that if you don't get at least 6 hours of sleep every night over the course of 2 weeks, you might as well be drunk. Woo! Let me tell you, Tara had the entire audience in the palm of her hand. I will tell you, I saw her rehearsal for this TED Talk just a few weeks prior. And originally, she came out on that stage and basically said, my name is Tara, and I have 4 kids, and I don't sleep very well because I have young children and I work full time and I never get enough sleep. And so I'm tired all the time. And did you know that the CDC says that if you don't get enough sleep over a couple of periods or a couple of weeks, you might as well be drunk, right? So you see how she and her speaker coach reversed. and put that really powerful statement up front and got us all into an immediate attention. And she kept us. She's now that's obviously a very shocking statement. And I want to be mindful of, all right, CPA James, I don't know what kind of shocking statement we can make about what you're doing with how you're educating your clients and potential clients, but you get the idea. Don't bury the lead. Come up with a hook. Come up with something really memorable that's going to grab their attention right up front. Make sense? Good? All right. Okay. Oh, Renee, let me tell you how I'm staying on screen here is with Big View and another program called Prezi Video. But I can put some information. I actually have some information for you at the end that you can learn a little bit more about it. But let's now move on to what we're thinking about with our scripting and how we're going to really put this to the test. So one, we're knowing who our audience is. Two, we're going to use conversational language. You're writing for the ear, not the eye. And now the next thing that I want you to think about, which I used every single day as a newscaster, is use active voice. We're getting nitty-gritty here now. But this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you go from here to here because your skill level goes up so much. Let me show you what active voice means. This is an example of active voice. The subject performs the action denoted by the verb. All right, Miss English teacher, what does that mean? Okay, let me show you right here. I launched. We outperformed. Our company invented. Do you see the difference here? It's very simple. It's subject followed by verb doing the action. I launched my YouTube channel so that I could connect with people who want to become better communicators. Right? You see, it's actually much simpler than you think it is. But here's what we do when we write in passive voice. This is what passive voice looks like. The website was launched by. First quarter results were led by. The delivery method was invented by. That is passive. Let me show you what that looks like in active. You change it to, instead of the decision on the next steps will be made by the committee, instead you say, the committee will decide next steps. Do you see? You're literally using less words when you speak in active voice. For example, here, the company launched the website. Instead of reversing it, like you reverse it to subject, verb, object. The sales team led first quarter results. La 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 la. Do you see the difference here? Does that make sense to you? This is what they're teaching in broadcaster school and journalism school to be more concise and effective on camera. Because by writing in passive voice, that's for the eyes, but writing in active voice is for the ears. And that's what we're going for. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to get down to business here on the writing. Because for me, I love to put my scripts, write them in Big View because there's an AI assistant who helps me write them, especially for thought starters when I get stuck. And then I'm going to show you the next trick. First, I'm going to give you an idea. Let's go here. For those of you who have never used the Big View script writer and how you can leverage the AI to help you, because some of you all had put some of the pain points is you don't know how to start. What are the first things you want to say? Let's go to my example here. Let me go full screen. I did a screen grab today of me putting together a script. And let me pause this for a quick moment so I can explain where I got this. I am speaking next week for a national association for the American Women in Science. And they asked me to do a video promo. And I was like, okay, well, gosh, I know what I wrote in the information that I sent them about what I'm going to be talking about, but that's for the event page for people to register. That's not a video script. So I simply took the information on the abstract about my topic, copied it from that website, and popped it into BigView right here on the left side. Let me go back here so you can see full screen. So when you open up BigView, this is what your page looks like. I clicked on New Script, and then right here, I went to the AI Writer, and I pasted in the information, the abstract of my webinar next week. And then I click the little blue button down below, Write New. And here is where BigView's little AI assistant starts putting the information I just gave it and turns it into a script. Oh my goodness, can you hear that? That's there we go. The vacuum. It's actually writing it for me. And it's nearly finished. Voila, here are the results. Take a look at this. It gives me 3 options. The AI writer gave me 3 different versions of a video script. And so I'm going to look at this and I'm going to decide which one I think will work best for me. And what I end up doing then is you see this add script. There's a little button there, and here it is. Now, I want you to pay attention to what I'm doing right now. I don't start with introducing myself. I start with a factoid or an did you know or an impactful statement, and then I introduce myself. So instead of wasting that first 5 seconds saying who I am, I just come out. In today's professional landscape, standing out means overcoming significant barriers in communication. Hi, I'm Sharon Delaney, a television broadcaster, corporate communications pro, blah, blah, blah. So I go in and refine it to make it sound, first of all, to make sure it sounds like me. Also, to make sure I actually looking back at this, I might change significant barriers to overcoming obstacles in communication. I might simplify it even more. But you get the idea here. This is where the thought starter can happen. And then I title the promo and save it. And then you're ready for action to go in and start recording and giving it a try. Right? So does everybody see how that works? All right, I'm going to stop down for just a minute here and find out if there's any questions. All right. Oh, yeah. So then you go back and then you hit record and watch. Here comes the teleprompter. I recorded this promo yesterday. I did the whole thing in less than 20 minutes. That was it. And let me tell you, the event organizer was like, oh my gosh, that was so cool. Thank you for doing that so quickly. And it's because I didn't have to do it over and over again because I had the prompter. I was reading. Okay, let me give you some other tips here now too that I used to use as straight from my playbook as being a television news anchor. Here's an example of a script that I did for the or I think it was Get to Know the Expert videos that are on BigView. And so here's what I wrote. Like it or not, you are now a broadcaster. Speaking, presenting, interviewing, connecting with people on camera is the new norm. Now, how do you know when to pause, when to emphasize certain words and de-emphasize others? This is the secret behind what most television broadcasters do. Not only do you write your script, but you mark your script. Do you see how I have here? Let me go back here and just show you this really quickly. You see here, it's just writing like with normal grammar. But over here, I've marked my script because I read it out loud before I actually record. Like it or not, mini pause. And then I've made you all capital letters to tell my brain to remember to emphasize that. Like it or not, pause, you are now a broadcaster. And then you see that slash right here. That single slash is telling my brain mini pause, or actually medium pause, and then speaking mini pause, presenting mini pause, interviewing and connecting with people on camera is the new norm. And another pause. Now you see I go back and forth between ellipses or the three dots, three periods, or the slash. The reason I do the three dots instead of a comma is because it's easier to see those dots rather than the small comma, because the small comma also can look like a period or a full stop. As you know, mini pause, the pandemic forced nearly everyone to their home offices, mini pause, but business goes on, period. So we adjust and learn to function in our new norm. A little bit of a longer pause. That means, and here I've written in all caps, you are now essentially a TV anchor like me. Longer pause. My name is Sharon Delaney McCloud. Mini pause. You get it? You see? What do y'all think? Oh, Terry, no, I'm not using that. Well, I was just showing you. I'm not using the actual prompter now. I'm just talking, but this is exactly how I create and write my scripts when I'm getting ready to record different videos using the Big View app. And I make sure that I've prepped it and I run through it a couple times out loud before I actually hit the record button to make sure I've got the emphasis on the right words and I've got pauses put in the right places. All right. Renee asking, can the AI writer provide a 5-minute script? I believe there. So I've only been using it for 30 to 30-second to minute long. You can use the teleprompter as long as you want. The AI writer, Bruno, would you be able to answer that question? Is there a limit in the number of characters that you can put into the AI script generator? 2 minutes. Thank you, Bruno. All right. So right now, the AI writer can put in 2 minutes at it. You can put in 2 minutes worth of time or script at a time. But once you finish your script once you have your script, you can add to it. You could maybe chunk it out and do like different little sections if you have a 5-minute video, but you might just have to chunk it out 3 times if it's got the 2-minute limit. Does that make sense, Renee? Cool. Okay. All right. Now let's go on to the next little section. A couple of things that you want to avoid. Make sure that whatever that first draft is that the AI writer pops out for you, don't just take it as is. Make it your own. You can use the help and the assistance of the artificial intelligence, but it's not going to get it perfect. It's probably 90% there, but go in and tinker with that script and rewrite and adjust it to make it like you sound and to make it using the words that you would use more regularly, more conversationally, right? So it's supposed to be your helper. It's not supposed to do it completely for you. Also, as we said earlier, don't bury the lead. Use a hook right up top. Ask a question, provide a big statistic, ask about a pain point that your client might be having, and then say, at the end of this video, I will have the answer for how you can solve that, or whatever it might be that the value you're bringing. Again, don't use complicated language because this is for the ear, not the eye. And please don't skip the call to action. The call to action, and those of you who are in marketing know what a CTA or call to action is. That is what you're asking that viewer to do next. Do you want them to sign up for your newsletter? Do you want them to watch another video? Do you want them to visit your website? Do you want them to pick up the phone and call you? Or what is the action? Do you want them to follow you on LinkedIn or Instagram? Make sure you're giving an action at the end. Okay, let's see. Oh, look at this. Generis. I always tell the AI to script it like I'm on FaceTime. That's interesting. I wonder what that how it generates the content a little bit differently than if you say that you're on giving a webinar or on LinkedIn or something. All right, let's see. One of our viewers here today. I find when I'm reading my script, it does not flow well. It's difficult to keep it smooth. Okay, oftentimes that comes with practice and putting in those markers. Does that make sense? So, first of all, making sure that the words sound like your own, and then that you've practiced it enough so it sounds natural. That's the big trick to being a news anchor or being a broadcaster and becoming efficient with the teleprompter. And do you all realize that on the Big View teleprompter app, you can adjust the speed to make it match what you need? So if it seems too quickly, you can do a retake and slow it down a little bit. There's all these things just by doing it over and over again that it then becomes much easier by actually using the tool more often. Now, speaking of using the tool, we are so excited. Bruno and the Big View team are offering, this is amazing, 3 months of free pro version Big View to the 3 people who were brave enough to upload their videos to us for us to review. And I'm so excited. We got great participation, and we've chosen 3 videos to share with you all today. These are the Big View community. You all uploaded these videos, and we're going to break them down and review how the scripting helps drive the impact of the video. Y'all ready for video number 1? Oh, yes, and Bruno just popped into the chat the link so that you too can upload your video, and one on the upcoming Ask the Expert series, yours might get chosen for live review, and then you win 3 months of free pro level Big View. Caleb, thank you so much. Okay. All right. Let's look at video number 1 that we're going to review right now. Let me get it large so everybody can see it. Here we go.
Cookies. Son of a... I am not your average grandma. Hello, my loves. I'm CJ Scarlett, danger expert, author, and the badass grandma. And I'm on fire, literally, about my partnership with Bark. Bark detects and alerts parents to issues their kids face online, such as cyberbullying, online predators, suicidal ideation, sexual content, and signs of depression. Bark's app, Kids Phone and In-Home Filtering, applies to text messages, YouTube, emails, and over 30 social media platforms and apps. Follow me for amazing content on how to keep your kids safe, and click below to learn more about Bark. Take it from the badass grandma, be the parent your child deserves. Not bad.
Yay! Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, I know this lovely badass grandma. Sorry, not supposed to say those words, I guess. Anyhow, that is CJ Scarlett, who I happen to know. She is an amazing author and advocate for so many important issues. And I happen to have worked with CJ on a project probably 15 years ago. Well done, CJ. How creative was that video? Can we get some love? Right? Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, CJ, A plus on creativity. I was like, what is happening here in the kitchen? And then for you to start in black and white, pop down that cookie sheet and then go color. Love it. Here's my recommendation. Well, first of all, you grabbed us right out the gate. But once you started talking about your partnership with Bark, you started speaking so quickly. I was missing some of the extremely important benefits of why I might want to buy or invest in that app. You started going super, super quick. Though, if you were going to redo this video, I would just, for that particular section, I would slow it down because you listed some amazing, amazing benefits for the user to purchase that if you are a parent. But I missed some of it because you spoke so quickly. Other than that, I love everything about that video. Can we please get a round of applause for CJ, right? Super, super well done. Okay, are we ready for video number 2? Okay, here we go. Let me make it full screen again. And this is...
Hey everyone, it's Neeraj Kumar. As we stand at the threshold of a brand new year, I invite you to join me on a journey of discovery, growth, and transformation. Let's talk about new beginnings and how to make 2025 our most fulfilling year yet. Take a moment to reflect on the past year. What were your highlights? What challenges did you face? What worked for you and what didn't? This introspection is crucial in identifying areas that need improvement and acknowledging your accomplishments. Be honest with yourself. What's holding you back? Is it fear, self doubt, or procrastination? Whatever it is, recognize that you have the power to change it. This is your chance to shade what's holding you back and emerge stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Now, let's look ahead to the new year. What do you want to achieve?
All right, we're going to stop down there. Well done, Neeraj. I just love everything about this video. Let me begin with the first thing. He invited us into what he wanted to do for us. Like, that was within the first 15 seconds. He told the viewers why he was coming to them with this video, but inviting us to be a part of this goal setting for the new year. And then he started listing the different kinds of problems that people might be experiencing. And then he was saying, and I'm going to help you solve it. I mean, this is exactly what a marketing video for your expertise should be about: stating the problem and then how you could potentially solve it. But I love that he started with an invitation, and he looks very approachable and friendly. And here's what else I loved: he's using the captioning, which is terrific, because since he recorded this in vertical format, I'm guessing he's going to be using it on Instagram or maybe TikTok. And what do people do? They're scrolling without the sound on. So by having the captions on there, people immediately can see, let me see. Oh, that's interesting. I think I'll stop and hear more. I'm a huge advocate to add captions to every video. Back to CJ Scarlett, our first video, I would recommend you use captions too, because that is being accommodating for everyone's, whether they're doom scrolling in silence, you might get them there by having those captions, and then they'll stop and turn the sound on. Really nicely done, Neeraj. I think I'd like to follow you. I want to hear more of your cool advice on goal setting and how to achieve the things you want. So Neeraj and CJ are getting 3 months of free pro level Big View. Now we're going to go to our third video.
Hi there, Linda Sherwin here. Have you ever thought of your workplace as a stage? It's a fun idea, right? But think about it. In the workplace, just like on a stage, everyone has a role to play. There's an audience to engage, and the performance often determines success. Today, I want to show you how thinking of your workplace this way can transform how you communicate and connect with others. And yes, spoiler alert, you are the star of the show. Lesson 1, know your role. Every great actor knows.
Okay. I feel like Linda is a professional actress or something. She is so confident. I don't even know if you're reading a teleprompter or looking at notes. It all just comes across so naturally. Here's the only thing I would change, Linda, about your video. You started with, "Hi, I'm Linda Sherman. Have you ever thought of your workplace as a stage?" This is the only thing I would change. I would come out with that statement first, and I would say, "Have you ever thought about your workplace as a stage?" Hi, everyone. I'm Linda Sherwin, and I think you need to add one phrase about what your background is that makes you an expert in this. Maybe you are an trained actor turned business coach. Put one little statement in there to give yourself, I mean, you have all the credibility with your delivery, but I need the information to know, well, why am I going to listen to this woman? Who is she? Is she an actor? Is she a business person? Tell me how this goes. You get the idea? I think that's really the only thing I would have changed about your video, Linda. And the whole video is excellent. I was taking notes the whole time. You give amazing value added advice in your video. So again, that's it. Maybe start with the statement, then introduce yourself, because that's all within the first 10 or 15 seconds, and you will hopefully grab and keep your audiences. Okay, so Linda, Niraj, and CJ, all of you are getting 3 months free of Big View Pro. Now, as we wind up and land this plane, because we're going to be done here in just a few minutes, are there any questions from the audience here? All right, in the meantime, I would like to share this. Our friends at Big View are going to be offering every one of you today $20 off of a Big View subscription. It is so worth it. Oh my goodness, the time saving and all the bells and whistles within Big View from the AI writer. Did you know also that with the AI script writer, there's also AI video, as in B-roll, where it'll actually pop in video to part of your stuff. You also can have music and your logo. I mean, it is a game changer and leveling up your professionalism on video by having these tools at your fingertips. Oh, there are some features to show the subtitles in another language. Oh. All right, let me see. Okay, let's see. Mercedes, you are asking about illumination and recording. I think you're meaning lighting. Is that what you mean? Yes, absolutely. In order to look good on camera, you have to have a good light. I'm going to show you. I've actually got 2 lights going on right here. I have a little portable light that I can pop right into my backpack when I'm on the go. I have 2 lights, and then here's the little ring light. You must have light coming towards your face. And let me give you this much information. All of that and more is in a handout that Bruno is going to put into the chat right now, which it links you to my website, to a page on my website where you can download a PDF, or just look right on that web page for the top tips to make sure that you've got yourself set up beautifully for virtual presenting, webinars, interviews, keynotes, breakout sessions, whatever kind of video communication or recording videos for your business. I've got a cheat sheet shopping list of some of the basic things you should have to make sure that you are coming across as confident and polished as possible. Oh, yep, we just popped it in there. So let me ask you, Bruno, about the whole thing with different languages with the closed captioning. Can you tell us more about that? And I'm trying to remember if there is the option to change. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes. Big View does that too. You can translate to multiple languages. I mean, that's amazing. So many cool features right here at your fingertips. That is terrific. All right. If there are any other questions, I would be happy to answer them now. If not, I am so delighted you could spend an hour with me today. I hope that you got some great information out of our time together today as we summarize how to make a great video. Think about knowing your audience, using language that is conversational because you're writing for the ear, not the eye, right? And then making sure that when you are delivering it, it's in a way that you're using the scripting technology and the teleprompter technology in a way that you can come across as naturally as possible. So you're going to mark those scripts. So now that you've used the AI writer to help you, go ahead and do some nice practicing before you hit the record button. And I'll tell you what, it's been a game changer for my business, and I hope it is for yours as well. And with that, I'm going to sign off and tell you to put on your calendar for next week. I believe our next Big View expert is going to be answering all kinds of questions as well. Thank you all so much. It's been a real pleasure spending some time with you today. Bruno, as always, thank you. Have a good one, everybody. Now more than ever before, the way you communicate can make or break your career. Hi, I'm Sharon Delaney McCloud. I'm a television journalist turned speaker and facilitator working with leaders and their teams to amplify their impact. In our hybrid world, it's crucial to connect with each other in meaningful ways. In fact, new research shows that effective communication has become the most vital competency and non-negotiable skill that modern leaders must flex to keep their teams engaged and productivity high. I invite you to follow my content for professional development best practices, podcasts, articles, and videos that will help you drive business results. I look forward to partnering with you in person or virtually to level up what I call your power skills. Hit the link below.
With the Big View teleprompter, create videos you're proud of. Easily trim your video by selecting the words where you want to start and end. Color your presentation with automatic subtitles and highlighting keywords. Add your brand logo. Add music for an emotional touch. Add your contact info on an animated business card on all your videos. Easily replace green screen with an image or a video loop. Stand out with a web page with your logo, your video at the center, and personalized button for visitors to interact. It's one tap to simultaneously upload your videos on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Always know what to say next with the Big View teleprompter.